Welcome back. We are working on mindfulness skills today, and I'm excited about it. We're going to be talking about the wise mind skill, but we want to do mindfulness skills because it's going to help us control our mind. And first, we have to become aware of it. First, we have to learn how to observe it. And that's what we're going to be working on doing. And please take your time with it. Some of these skills are so basic that you might not think they're important for you to do, but I promise you they're important. And this is all about practice. Practice, practice, practice on repeat. We have to practice because this is about developing a relationship with ourself, with our inner self. And there's a lot of ways that we neglect ourselves and overlook the need to take care of ourselves and to lead our mind and our heart. And trust me, we can't just do it out of the gate. We can't just save it for the important moments. So this is about coming to terms. Mindfulness is about coming to terms with what is reality, accepting reality as it is. And a lot of times what a mental illness is it's not very complicated. Sometimes it's an overemphasis on the negative, an overemphasis on our flaws, an overemphasis on somebody else's flaws. Maybe something unsafe has happened to us, and now that unsafe thing consumes us, and now we're not able to move on and think about other things and focus on work and our partner or whatever it might be. So we're going to learn about the wise mind and look at the homework on the website. There are a number of ways that you can practice wise mind. Okay. So look at it and find the way that works for you. But what you'll see is we're trying to sort of de-escalate and regulate your system. So one of the examples is imagining that you're like a rock that's tossed into the water, and then the rock just slowly finds its rest at the bottom and goes bloop. And we're just observing, what do I see in my system as I float down and I go bloop. And these are some quirky ways that some people might not be interested in. It's not important which way you do it. It's important that you learn how to observe, and specifically that you observe non-judgmentally. Here's why. We often think our judgments are accurate. Oftentimes they're not. We inherently do not have accurate judgments. And all we have to do is be married and ask our spouse, what percentage do you think my judgments about you are correct? And we'll find out we can be wrong a lot. And hopefully we're wrong a lot, because sometimes some of us can be quite negative a lot. So what we're doing is we're actually trying to suspend judgment for a season, not forever. We actually want to learn how to judge or assess or evaluate or discern. But for now, we simply need to observe how we judge. So learning how to step back from our system and observe the thoughts, any thought, even subtle ones, any feeling, even tiny ones, or any sensations happening in our body, how we start biting our nails at a certain point in a conversation. All of those things signal how we're perceiving things, how we're judging things. And we first just want to step back from a wise mind, or our true self, or our core self, the spiritual self, whatever language that we use, and start observing what's happening in this mind, this heart, my body. What's happening when this person says this, and how am I reacting? What do I think they mean? Am I confident that that's what they mean? Have I asked a clarifying question? And so just getting good at observing. And one example of like a mindfulness strategy that we can start developing, this idea of observing and describing. So that's the first things that we're going to start with, is just observing, describing, and then we start participating, meaning we start sort of showing up with that thought, that feeling, that sensation, and we start being there for it. And sort of as we acknowledge it, we can support it. We can be a comforting presence to it. So if it's distressing, that actually can be very helpful and supportive to our system. So one way of doing that is just sort of imagining we're sitting by a creek, and there's leaves rolling by in the creek. And we can imagine watching the leaves, observing the leaves, but not jumping into the creek to grab a hold of them. And that idea of grabbing hold of them would be giving into the emotion, giving into the thought. So we're just trying to step back, learn to observe it. I would encourage you, practice this at least 3 times this week.